Hi, and welcome to this video where we will be talking about what is an internal developer platform. So let's see what we are going to cover. We will deal with the what, the why, and the when. So what is an internal developer platform? Why would we build one? And when should we build one? So let's get started with what is an internal developer platform. So the official definition from platformengineering.org is that an internal developer platform is a set of tools, services, and processes that supports and accelerates your software development while taking care of managing the underlying infrastructure. So this basically means that our development teams don't need to actually know anything about the underlying infrastructure. So they can set up that on demand without actually borrowing the DevOps teams. And another definition of an internal developer platform, and this one comes from internaldeveloperplatform.org, is that this is built by a platform team to build golden paths and enable developer self-service. An IDP consists of many different techs and tools, and they are glued together in a way that lowers the cognitive load on developers, but without abstracting away the context of underlying technologies. So following best practices, teams treat their platform as a product and they built it based on user research. So basically what the dev teams want. And this gets maintained and continuously improved on. And okay, so IDPs are meant basically for internal use only. They are meant for developers in your organization, and it's a platform. So this is a product type. It is a self-service platform that allows developers to easily establish their environments. And each IDP has 5 core components. So the first one is application configuration management. So this means that we can manage application configuration in a dynamic, scalable, and reliable way. The next one is infrastructure orchestration. So we can orchestrate our infrastructure in a dynamic and intelligent way, and depending on the context as well. The next one is environment management. This means that we enable our developers to create new and fully provisioned environments whenever needed. The next one is deployment management. So we need to implement a delivery pipeline for continuous delivery or continuous deployment. And the last one is role-based access control, which basically means who can do what in a scalable way. And now, why would we build something like that? So what's the process usually like when we develop a new app? So usually we create a repository, we assign some permissions, and then we create an infrastructure ticket. And then another team takes care of the underlying infrastructure provisioning, like handling DNS, storage, stuff like that, and also the deploy. But this whole process gets automated by an internal developer platform. So the key here is first alignment. So we want to deploy all of our infrastructure on the apps that are supported, and this leads then to detailed documentation and also streamlined practices. Compliance and governance and dev team focus. So compliance and governance, what we want to do is we want to integrate development processes with a set of tools, and this leads to effective software development. We want to identify access management and also quality assessment, like using SonarQube for that. And we also internally maintain a catalog of data, and this leads then to easier infrastructure management and also roadmap planning. And for the dev team focus, this basically means that what happens is we automatically provision resources, we apply default templates, we allocate resources, and developers then spend just minutes on establishing their infrastructure needs, which basically means that the development team can then focus on developing the actual product. And the fourth one is autonomy and efficiency. So developers then have all the tools they need to actually be efficient in delivering software. So deployment frequency is better, and they can also self-serve the underlying resources. And okay, one thing, and this is from Humanitech. Why would someone build an IDP? So this is just part of a table from Humanitech. This is a list of procedures that is performed per 100 deployments. And enterprise organizations that have more than 100 employees will kind of feel the lack of standardization, and that's why they would build an IDP. So here you can see the time that is needed for ops time and also dev time when you need to add or update app configurations, add services and dependencies, update resources and stuff like that. And usually these things take time because we have silos. And this basically means that developers need to contact someone else to do the work for them. And then this time that you can see in this table just increases for each thing. That's why we need to kind of standardize our processes so that we increase our velocity. And okay, let's kind of check. So we said that we're gonna check when to build an IDP. Let's first check when not to build an IDP. So if you have a small team of specialized developers and you have someone that's dedicated to DevOps, you don't need to build an IDP. If you have a monolith app, you also don't need to build an IDP because monoliths aren't that complex to manage. And if you have like a simple single cloud infrastructure, you also don't need an IDP because things are simple when you're small and when you're using a single cloud infrastructure provider. But okay, when would you build an IDP then? If you have a microservice architecture in your app or are thinking about a microservice architecture, then you should build an IDP. If you have multiple development teams and a lot of environments, then you should build an IDP. DevOps teams and focus. So if DevOps teams cannot focus properly on their work, on SLAs or repetitive work that they need to do for other teams in your organization, that's when you should start focusing on standardizing your processes and building an internal developer platform. And also, when your developers are blocked. When are your developers blocked? So when they are dependent upon other teams. So for instance, developer teams need to provision some new infrastructure and they need to contact another team, and this usually takes time. So when you see that your developers are being blocked by other teams and the underlying tasks that need to be done, that is also kinda something that would lead you to develop an internal developer platform. Okay, so we said that we won't focus on the how, but just to kinda layer the bricks for the next video in this series. There are tools you can use to build an IDP. One of those is called Kubernetes. But you can also build your own from scratch. So this is like a very complex process and you need to allocate resources and time to build your own. And these are the things that we will be checking in our next video. So what are some of the tools that you can use to build an internal developer platform? So the existing ones. Or what are the tools that you can use to build your own? So I hope you've enjoyed this video and we'll see each other next time. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button and also subscribe to our channel. Also feel free to leave any comments down below.